All right, Brittany. Oh. Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's start this over. Okay. Decline. Sorry, someone's trying to FaceTime me. Okay. So, we are talking about Standard 6 right now, and it's on assessment. I watched your video. I thought your lesson was, or your assessment, or this was a pre-assessment you told me. So you want to tell me a little more about that?
Sure. So I showed you the format of the assessment, and on my lesson plan that I submitted, I also have copy pasted it. The goal is to pre-assess everything that they will be learning in the first term. So we have 3 trimesters, and so the first term we learn about patterns, colors, sorting, and spot the difference.
Okay.
So I wanted to get a baseline. This also was kind of my first assessment for my kids in general, because I can't pre-assess them on literacy right now, as they can't even write their own names. So math is one thing that I can really sit down with them and see who my high students are, who my low students are, and who I need to group together.
That's good.
So no, the assessment really well. I got to do quite a few kids, and I really got to see which of mine that knew exactly what they were doing, and some of them who just kind of played around. But the trick is, especially because it's an assessment, is not to encourage one way or the other.
Yeah.
Just say thank you and then let them go play. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that you did a pretty good job from what I saw, like with Leif. I thought the assessment flowed very smoothly, and you didn't let distractions like derail you. You just kind of like, okay, we're busy, like let's keep going with this assessment. So I thought it was pretty good. So the first part, accommodations and assessments. Did the candidate make appropriate accommodations to assessments for students with disabilities and English language learners? And then we had a discussion about this, and you said that you simplify the assessment for your students with special needs or English language learner by giving them what they can handle. And also you're using hands-on and visual assessments. So I feel like and exactly, it's one-on-one. It's not like a group assessment or individual, like by themselves. So I feel like that's helpful not only for your student. I feel like that's helpful not only for your special needs students or English language learners, but for all of your students, like across the board. So it's really good. Your use of assessments. Did the candidate use multiple assessments appropriately to gauge student learning? Yes, you used multiple different assessments in the video, and I saw that there was 3 in the video, I believe. Yeah, 3. The bowls, and then there was the
sorting
and patterns. So I thought that was very effective in gauging the students' knowledge to see what they know how to do, and it was pretty. And you just like let them do. You let them do it on their own. You didn't help them out. You just kind of like saw what they could do and moved on. So that's good. Feedback. Did the candidate provide substantive and timely feedback to students on their work? So I didn't see that in this lesson because this is a pre-assessment, but I know that you will be able to hopefully give them feedback post, like when they're done.
And my feedback would be
verbal,
putting what they need in lessons. That's my feedback, is
okay.
Seeing what they're in need of, and then the feedback would be the lessons that I do to help them understand I know that's what they were struggling with.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So let them know what you're struggling with, but also do try to like tell them what they did good at, or like what they were, what they were successful at.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then let them know exactly what you just said, what they need to work on, and why we're doing this lesson. Alignment of assessments with objectives. Did the candidate align assessments with learning objectives? And we had to talk about that, about how you align this with their learning objectives for term 1 and the standards for term 1, which I think that it's a very good assessment that you made, and I feel like you said, like some of your team will be using this assessment, because I feel like it does show that you made a very well organized assessment, and something that all the classes will be using, so that's pretty awesome. And then the last thing is formative and summative assessments. Sorry, I'm about to sneeze.
Bless you.
Ooh, cats. Okay. formative and summative assessments. Did the candidate use both formative and summative assessments to know whether their students were learning? I didn't see like formative. This was like a pre-assessment, so I guess that is a formative assessment. But I know that you use formative and summative assessments. You haven't really done a big summative assessment, have you? Stupid. Have you done a summative assessment in your class, like a big one?
No, because
Not yet.
we just finished
It's just
the
you're
beginning
just
of
in
the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So when you do get to that point, you can talk to me if you need any help with that. But I do see that you use formative assessment constantly throughout your class because you're asking them questions. Those are formative assessments. And then this was a pre-assessment, which I thought was very well organized, and you were using it. So
And any work that they do, like physical work, that is everything in the beginning is a pre-assessment
Yes,
because we have
you're
no
right.
idea where they are.
Right.
I scan it into the computer,
That's awesome.
and then I sort the stuff that they do into their individual academic folders that I keep on my Google Drive.
That's
So I
really
have
good.
like
So
the
you have
first time they wrote their
I
name,
like that.
the first time they drew a picture of themselves.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That sounds like a lot of work.
it is.
But that's amazing. Like that's gonna be so helpful. And I cannot tell you how. That's gonna be helpful when you get to report cards.
After the
And,
beginning,
parent-teacher conferences, you can just pull that up or share that file with them, and they will love that. I think it's gonna be awesome.
and then
It's good
after
for
the
your
beginning,
students.
it doesn't have to be like every
Super
single thing
detailed.
they do.
You're right.
Because it
Just
is
like
a
the
lot
stuff
of
that stands out.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the rest I send home, or I'll look at it just for myself.
Mhm.
But some of it, like they don't need to see 15 pictures of themselves being drawn, but they
Right.
can see the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Yeah.
To see
Exactly.
the progress
to see
that's
the
been
progress. Yeah. That's awesome. All right. I thought you did great on assessments.
made. Thank you.
All right.